Hi everyone, thanks for watching or listening, and welcome to another episode of the Reach Out series, where we explore the intersection of human connection, technology, and mental well-being. I'm Yohay Elam, founder of TouchBase, an app that tackles loneliness by helping foster meaningful connections. And today, I'm deeply honored to speak with Nadia Devita Oktarini Artonne, a structural engineer turned global changemaker. Nadia is the president of Loneliness Global Action, an organization taking on one of the most pressing issues of our time, loneliness. Their bold mission says it all. Within 10 years, no one in this world should be able to say, I don't know how to make friends. Welcome, Nadia.
Hi, and hello to all of you. Yes, the mission is bold, but it's possible and it's urgent. Loneliness is not just a feeling, it's a global threat. We believe the answer is not easy, but simple. Togetherness, it must be a way of life. I hope our audience stay with us to learn about our plan because we need them. We need you to win this battle.
Nadia, thank you very much for being here. Let's start with your story. How did you go from engineering and business development to funding a global movement dedicated to solving loneliness?
Yohay, in life, it's important to know who you really are if you want to grow. Some people are searching all their life for this, and it took me more than 30 years. And in fact, since I was a kid, I've always been a fixer, and I want to understand how things work and how to make them work better. And I'm INTJ personality, so structure, clarity, and purpose have always mattered to me. That's why I study structural engineering. I didn't just want to build, I want to build on solid foundations. Later, I moved into business, not in pure sales, but in business development and sales. I have always needed things to make sense, to have meaning, to last. I launched my own cafe, a space to bring expat and locals together. It was working until COVID hit. Like many others, I had to close down. But one of my strengths has always been resilience, and for the mission I've chosen now, resilience is everything. You know, across all of my projects from high rise to brand campaign, I kept asking, what are we really building here? Because honestly, the world started to feel broken and disconnected, unsafe. But I always believe in the bright side of human nature. When cornered, we can evolve, we can show up for each other, we can heal. That belief is what led me here, not just to another job, but to a mission. And now I'm focused on what I believe is the most critical structure of all, human connection.
Yeah, undoubtedly. It's the most important structure. So
Yes.
you've had such a rich career across sectors from infrastructure to international marketing, but it seems that something deeper called you to focus on human connection. Was there a moment, what moment or realization sparked the idea for loneliness global action?
You're right. Behind my dedication, I can even say devotion. There is a strong will, but also a wound. Around 2019, life hit hard. I lost my mom suddenly. My chocolate cafe, a business I built with love, was crushed by COVID, like everyone else as well. And I was stuck in an abusive relationship. One by one, the pillars of my life crumbled. It felt like the universe was testing everything I had carefully built, my value, my limits, my foundations, and just like I had seen with my father's year before, when things collapse, many so-called friends vanish, gone, whoosh, like dust in the wind. But I'm resilient. I started asking questions, not just to myself, but to others. Have you ever felt lonely even when surrounded by people? The answer was always yes. And young, old, rich, poor didn't matter. Loneliness was everywhere, just hidden, and no one there to name it. So I did what I've always done. I studied the structure, I listened, I took notes, I mapped. I look at emotion like a system. What create this, what break it. I talk to strangers, I read. I kept reading. One book I found recently said it's so well, Word for Love by Dr. Stephanie Casiopo. she confirmed what I already felt. So loneliness is a physical, not just emotional. And it changed your brain, your body, your health. That's when I knew isn't just about me. This is no the global emergency, and that's how Loneliness Global Action was born. And not just to fix it, but to name it, to make it so loud it cannot be ignored anymore.
Yeah, sometimes people get stuck in feeling shame by being
Yeah,
lonely, and yeah, it should be shouted out loud. And how did you
agree.
go about turning such a big vision, ending loneliness, into something actionable?
Oh, sorry, I not to dodge the question, but let's put aside the big in the vision for a moment and talk about the big in the problem, because this giant we are facing, it has clay feet, and loneliness is not some complicated disease. It's not rocket science. It's a human connection broken. And Yohay, we are all born with the tools to fix it. This isn't about elite solution. It's about common sense, empathy, and a shared need to belong. That's why we didn't build a research lab. We are building a citizen power movement. Yeah, we are talking something that touch over 30% of people globally. That's more than 6 million live every year. As deadly as COVID, close to cancer, 12 times worse than all, yeah, and all current wars together per year. And yet, no one's officially in charge. So we start local. After my partner's GC TEDx talk, we launched our first chapter in France. Now there are 10 countries on board, and we are aiming for 100 by the end of next year. Hopefully, anyone can start one, and all you need is to care and take the first step. Then we connected the dots, influencers because they help shape norms, entrepreneurs because they build real world solutions. And from this momentum, for example, Elefinity was born, the Europe first impact investment fund dedicated to socialization. In fact, the founder, Nicolas Fantus, attended that same TEDx. That's serendipity, actually. And I like this so much. So we help inspire the idea. Now Alifinity is set to back over 10 ventures already pre-selected and with more than 100 million euros. So yes, it's actionable, it's on the move, it's fast, and best of all, it's a human. And for all our audience listening to this, I want to say, you already have what it takes to be part of it. You are human.
Yeah, it touches all of us, everybody living on this planet. So what were the first steps you took to bring LGA, Loneliness Global Action, to life, and how did others begin to rally around that mission?
Okay. When I say it's a citizen-driven movement, it's not just a slogan. It's literally how it started. So after GC gave his TEDx talk, a few people came to him right after and say to him, "Let's do something." No big plan, just a spark from the heart. That's how the first chapter was born. So then came the big question: what do we actually do? So we launched a petition, and just one post, just that from Noah Dorian, one of our co-founders, and we well-known also influencers in France, and boom, over around 6,000 signatures in 1 week. It was calling for the government to recognize loneliness as a public health emergency. That's when we realized, wow, there are fire here, and then silence be like we sent open letters to ministers, even to President Macron, with no one reply. So okay, we understood that we had to get louder, and funnily enough, the real noise came from abroad. In Indonesia, my home country, the message hit home. Maybe because I've been active here for years and have more than 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. So great NGO like in Indonesia, like Angsa Merah Foundation, Into the Light, Rumah Millennials, Tech Voice Indonesia, and others got in touch, and people like Vita, powerful mental health advocate, said, "Okay, Nadia, let's open a chapter." And this around 4 months ago. It's exploded fast, as I say, in 10 countries and even more candidates. So yeah, we had to slow down a little bit because I am INTJ, so I like structure and also safety. And now we are setting up the funnel, onboarding tools, and then also community playbook, just like a lean startup. But instead of creating profit, we're building a shared value. That's the real capital.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you start from the values, you can go very, very far.
Yeah.
And let's talk a bit about the mission, that powerful line that caught my eye. The within 10 years, no one in this world should be able to say, I don't know how to make friends. That's super ambitious, but also very inspiring. Can you unpack that a bit and tell us a bit what it really means for you and for LGA?
When you say it's inspiring, ambitious, yeah, I think for sure. But honestly, I just sharing our mission statement out loud show how absurd this even is. Okay, I mean, imagine bringing our ancestors back to life. They look at us and say, "Wait, you built satellite, cured disease, connected the planet with apps, but seriously, you forget how to make friends?" Like, ah, how come? Come on, but we are humans. We are supposed to know how to do this. It's literally in our DNA. But here we are, swiping for someone to talk to. Well, scammers take $1 out of $3 in the dating industry. So people, especially the young, are paying psychologists just to learn how to socialize. Like seriously, and why? Because fake life on social media crush our self-esteem. We fear rejection, so cortisol kicks in, and boom, we are trapped in a physical cycle on loneliness. I could go an hour talking about this. I'm passionate talking about this, but the reality is this: the point is that we never had more ways to connect, but also yet we never felt more alone. So no, I'm not saying everyone will magically have a best friend and 10 years. That's not the goal. What I'm saying is, if we build safe, inclusive, real life ways to meet, if we create serendipity, then we massively increase the odds for everyone. That is about infrastructure for human connection. So it's local, global, also at the same time, and it's a $2 trillion opportunity. So two with 12 0 0 0 behind. So let's bet on it 5 years from now. Okay, mark my words. You will see the shift. If not, we are headed for a very, 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 very dark place, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, it's so important. We can schedule a conversation for 5 years from now, and
Yes,
I'm sure
let's
be
do that.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure you'll be making huge progress. So, what are the core strategies and pillars that LGA is building to make that goal a reality?
Yep, you're right. At this stage of the conversation, for now, maybe after 5 years will be different. We share both value and dreams. But let me tell you, we also grounded. So grounded like any strong structure should be, as I say before. Our foundation is the citizen, not just symbolically, but also structurally. So they're the ones starting the chapter, joining for free, and bringing their voice to the table. Because if you feel lonely, it's often means you don't feel heard, and we want to fix that part. From that base, we are building three main pillars. So the first one is citizen and lawmakers. We connect people with the people in charge. When citizens unite in large numbers, they become an electoral force. But it's also about feedback both ways. We'll inform them on decision made for, and then also their well-being, and also push ideas upwards. And we already have a list of it going on. And the second one, collaboration with the other NGO. There are amazing associations out there, often around 80% plus satisfaction. So these customers, they are happy, but they operate in silos for this association. And also, at too small at scale, we won't replace them or control them. We will link them. And funny to say this, but here it is. We will break the isolation of those fighting isolation. And to finish, the third one, so it's a private sector, like yours, mine. Okay, you will agree this issue touch work, cities, healthcare, So we want to identify what works globally. So to create jobs, inspire startup, and then yes, maybe spark the next unicorns. I really believe so. And now holding all of these three all together, and at top is our AI-powered global database projects, shared tools open to professionals, NGO, governments, and most importantly, citizens themselves. And I know I cannot help myself to make analogy with construction, but I still think like a structural engineer. But hey, maybe that's what this world needs: a solid foundation, strong bridge, and yeah, better blueprint for human connection.
Yeah, yeah. Start from the bottom and
Yes,
build up.
sure.
So yeah, if we're talking about well, engineering things, are there any measurable milestones you're tracking at your work toward that big 10-year target?
Yes, I understand the question, but honestly, we are a startup at heart. So yes, we love milestone. It must be, and we love to change and adapt them along the journey. So don't expect a rigid roadmap here. Will be some adjustment. I prefer to be a zero bullshit. So that said, we plan 100 plus active chapters by the end of next year, and that's our first milestone. It's bold, yeah, but we already on track with tools like LinkedIn. Honestly, the world is just a few messages away. The right people already find us, and then come the next challenge: influencers, the one who cares. Okay, some in fact. Many know they've been part of the problem, but they also want to be part of the solutions. They will help amplify citizen engagement, like signing petition, for example, in every country we can. So the KPI is simple. Do government listen? Do they move? When we reach that tipping point, when an idea become a movement, we'll know. So okay, from there, of course, crowdfunding, that's a big lever. I'm thinking of what was raised in France during that event in 2024, where Zerator and 130 Twitch streamers hosted around 50 hour live streaming and raised around 10 million euro in a single weekend, and they did in 3 years in a row. Impressive, no? And also take also Mr. Beast in US. He raised around 20 million US dollar just to plant a tree. Like cool, but now imagine that kind of energy behind something around human connection. So here we are. And yes, to answer your question, we will track all the usuals: emotional impact, policy shift, funding roles, flows, etc., etc. There will be many lists, but I won't bore you with the dashboard and so and so. And as a takeaway, Yohay, here is the real impact. Loneliness costs us around 2 trillion US dollar a year globally. We are not asking to spend more. We are showing how to save money, life, and a piece of our shared humanity. And we'll move faster than most would expect. Honestly, me the first, and it's very encouraging.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a good return on investment here, if we use another business world
Yeah,
term.
yeah, if it's business, yes, I can say.
Yeah. So there's lots of work here as well. So how do you maintain momentum and belief when the mission is so huge?
Yeah, so Yohai, you and I already spoke about this before in the interview. So I know this isn't just a theory for you, but you are not a dreamer and not a skeptic either. But I get the question, how to say this. When the mission is huge, it's fair to ask how do you keep going? Because here is how I see it. The mission itself, it's a massive, but the solution is natural. We are not trying to build rocket ships, and we are trying to reboot something ancient, so human connections, okay? And the beautiful thing is, connection spread like a fire in a dry forest. The word is dry right now. That's what I'm thinking. In need of warmth, of trust, of meaning. You light one spark, and if it lands right, it spreads. So one person connect with three, then those three connect with nine. So it multiple fast. That's not hope. That's the math is mathing. I can say we are not waiting for miracles, just moments, and we build momentum from there. So most people are already there online, and that used to imprison us, but we're flipping the switch and using the same tools to set people free.
Yeah, turning that energy to another direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, LGA treats loneliness not just as a personal issue, but also as a systemic one, as a public health challenge.
Yes, honestly, I wish we could keep calling loneliness just a personal struggle, but that would be a lie. So loneliness today is a public health emergency. It's raised the risk of early death by over 25%. That's more dangerous than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's linked to heart disease, anxiety, stroke, even suicide, and those are just the symptoms we see. You know, what most people don't realize is the economic tsunami behind it. In the U.S. alone, loneliness costs around 500 US dollar, 400 billion, sorry, US dollar a year, from burnout, mental health issue, to isolation in senior care. So globally, the impact is estimated at over 2 trillion US dollar every single year. It's huge, and yet government invests close to nothing. Zero prevention, zero vision. Even recent announcement like in South Korea. So South Korea's 30 million plan on several years span sound impressive until if you zoom out. The global public investment in loneliness, guess like it's around $200 million total per year for the world world. So okay, let that sink in, and we are spending millions to solve $1 trillion problem, and a trillion is a million of million, big, crazy, right? So meanwhile, we pour 2.7 trillion US dollar into military defense, and but about defending what really holds society together. So trust, belonging, love. So loneliness is quiet, I can say invisible, and that's what makes it dangerous because it creeps in, divides people, hollows out community long before any crisis make the news. That's why loneliness global action exists, not to complain, but to make this connection visible, measurable, and also solvable. Because you cannot ignore the human core. No, no, no. And I expect seriously a healthy word, to be very honest.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's such a huge problem, and yeah, it's the proportions of spending.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that.
big one.
Yeah. What have been some of your most impactful collaborations with governments or other institutions so far?
This time you're faster than us, Yohay. Government doesn't move at the speed of urgency, especially not when the problem is quiet, invisible again, like I say. Loneliness doesn't strike in the streets, it doesn't break windows, it just break people, sadly. So yeah, getting public institution to listen takes time, and getting NGO to partner isn't always easier. The field is full of silo, and let's be honest, there is a lot of ego involved. So we are still a young NGO, real institutional partnership, the kind that matter take time. We'll probably need a year to become truly representative, maybe two to be recognized globally. But honestly, that's already fast, and we are on track. And okay, that said, we are seeing encouraging signals. For example, in France, in Indonesia, mission-driven NGO, committed entrepreneurs, even city officials are starting to lean in. So they see the vision, they get it. So the impact is coming. We are building it. Just give us a little time, soon, soon, and maybe a few more loud voices.
So there's this gap between a startup and governments, and how do you navigate this balance between urgency and the slow pace of policymaking?
Who said we have to wait for them? So yes, government matter. Yes, we'll build that pillar in time, but it's neutral. I like to say where the voters go, the policymakers follow, and our priority right now is simple: show the entrepreneurs, the investors, and the public where to focus. Because the real key is the socialization market. And remember, Yohai, we are not just a movement to complain. It's in our name, action. That means not just one action for one group, but like many NGOs do. Our work is about global awareness and making loneliness impossible to ignore. So let's be honest, most countries are in debt, so economies are struggling. But if you look at how big issue like cancer are being tackled, it fits the Pareto rule, 20% government plus NGO, and the rest is 80% private sector. So, will it be different for loneliness? Tell me, like we are not dreamers. We are pragmatic. We go where it counts, and where is it efficient. So where the time is also money, and where life is on the line. So don't get me wrong. We are not here to make profit. No, but yes, we are here to open the path for others, and also yes, we are also here to building business, and yes, that to create millions of future jobs. Because let's face it, with AI and automation growing fast, millions of people will lose their roles, and with that, their sense of usefulness. Dare to tell me if I'm wrong, and you know where I'll go now. Yes, exactly. That's when loneliness explode. We are acting now. Before that wave hit even harder.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, restoring that sense of meaningfulness, of usefulness, of belonging is critical. And what can other countries learn from those already taking action on loneliness on the national level?
Oh, I don't like these questions, but let's face it, you have to ask for it, sure. Unfortunately, the lesson so far is disappointing. Only two countries, the UK and Japan, representing just over 2% of the global population, and have created Ministry for Loneliness. And even when that progress also fragile. So see, the UK recently also downgraded its ministry into a simple committee. So sad. So is a minister only symbolic? Okay, maybe, but effective. The real question, hardly. So still, we advocate for it as now. Let's talk again. Budget. The entire global spending on loneliness, about 200 million US dollar, as I said earlier, is what you need to build like 100 around about. So you want another comparison also in the UK, it's like the budget is barely enough to maintain half the gardens in London. So what kind of impact can you really expect from that budget? I mean, seriously, like government want to learn anything, they should look to the private sector. That's what I believe. And when a CEO spot a leak draining billions, they spend at least 2% to investigate the cause of that. And okay, then and maybe 20% to fix 80% of the problem. You follow me? It's basic business logic, right? Like why don't we apply it to a crisis costing us $2 trillion a year? The truth is, most politicians are touched by loneliness. They are surrounded by teams, constantly busy, purposeful, and as it counts, demographically, they tend to fall in the lowest link group. So that's it. So it doesn't hit home, end of the story. And that's why the change won't come from inside of the system. It has to come from the people, from public pressure, from data, from evidence that solving loneliness isn't just human, it saves life and also cut costs. So far, not one country has really, I believe, done it right, but you know what? It only take one to lead, and the others will follow. And I'm very optimistic on this, and I want to be. We need to be.
Yeah, yeah. Optimism is critical for leading and
Yes.
succeeding. And yeah, we mentioned you mentioned the private sector and innovation, and I know that LG also promotes ethical innovation, making sure tech supports connection rather than undermining it. What do you think needs to change in how technology is designed today?
Yeah, it's a it's a very difficult task basically. And as most tech today, it isn't designed to connect us. It's designed to hook us, and apps compete for attention, not affection. But we are not here to scroll. We are here to bond, and you see it clearly in dating and social platform, definitely. So people are swiping more but meeting less, and what they call choice is actually just noise. The result is emotional burnout, disappointment, distress, and at Loneliness Global Action, we believe it's time to shift from engagement at all costs to connection with intention. So, okay, that means designing tools that don't just show you more faces, but help you to feel safe, seen, and understood. And safety matter here a lot, especially when online interaction leads to offline meetings. We need tech that protects people without tracking or violating privacy. And yes, it's possible. We are already exploring models that verify real users and enhance safety while staying compliant with global standards like GDPR. We believe security and dignity can go hand in hand. Now with AI entering the picture, we face a huge responsibility. So AI can help people understand their emotions better. That's what of course, we believe. To also recommend local support, even flag risk of isolation, that's powerful. But we draw a clear line. AI must support human connection, not simulate it. We don't need robots pretending to be our friends. We need real friendship, real with real people, and ethical innovation is possible, but we have to choose it. And that start by asking one simple question: does this technology bring us closer, or just like farther apart?
Yeah, that's the number one question in this field. And what principles should guide future innovation in this space?
Yes, let's make it short. I see three great principles, and they are non-negotiable. So one, it's emotional safety. So tech must stop poking at insecurity just to boost engagement. So emotional safety means users don't leave your platform feeling worse than when they arrive. So trust me, it happens too often. Terrible. So it's about reducing social anxiety, so avoiding manipulation and ensuring no one feels disposable. That's the first. The second one, it's a long-term impact. So we need to stop designing for dopamine and start designing for dignity. If a product connects people today, but leave them more isolated tomorrow, it's not innovation, it's a trap.
Hmm.
Success must be measured in sustainable connection, not station time. And where am I? Yes. So the third is the last principle, human accountability. So tech doesn't get a free pass just because it's neutral. So I really believe that every choice from algorithm design to UI affects real life, then builders must be accountable, not just to users, but to the emotional ecosystem they are shaping. At Loneliness Global Action, we are not saying that we are anti-tech, we are anti-harm. That's why we are developing ethical guidelines and certification programs. So platform can prove they are building for connection, and users can see also who's truly on their side. So the ones who follow our norms will be highlighted globally through our upcoming app and open database, giving them visibility and also trust while significantly cutting their marketing costs. So if we succeed, and I correct, this will become a major leverage for good business and a win for basically everyone. Because as we said at the very beginning, no one should be able to say, I don't know how to make friends. And our job is to find the right solutions and propose them for free and for the benefit of all.
Yeah, yeah, needs to benefit everyone, and yeah, reminding us of that super powerful mission. Very impressive. So, um, this isn't something just one organization can solve alone. What kind of partners are you looking for, and how can individuals or institutions get involved in LGA's work?
Actually, I really love this question. And the answer is simple. So if your family, if your friends or your colleague matter to you, then join us. We are citizen movement and anyone can be part of it. Become a member. It's free. We don't charge. If you live in a country where no chapter exists yet, so start one. We will guide you through the process. So it's free or very low cost, and that makes you a founder. So from there, we'll work together to build it up and also find the right people, entrepreneurs, psychologists, sociologists, politicians, in fact, anyone who cares, basically. And there is many. And if you represent an organization, just come talk to us, share your mission, your action. We are here to amplify the map also. And if you're open to it, we'll help spread your great ideas to the other countries. And we are not big on bureaucracy because we are very clear on one thing, respect. So we have zero tolerance for anyone who harms others or also our mission, because beyond that we stay agile and human. So we are open to any type of partnership, sponsorships in both directions, and we are here to build together, not to compete, because solving loneliness isn't about the ego, it's about the heart, and everyone has something to bring to the table. Yeah.
Yeah, and bring everybody together, and yeah, that's also dovetails with the theme of belonging that we touched on before. So, Nadia, we're getting closer to the close. Is there,
Yeah.
if there's any one message or shift in mindset, um, you hope people take from this conversation, what would it be?
Okay, I understand, and it is time to wrap up. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity, Yohai. And so let me tell you our audience about this. So loneliness is not your fault. It's not also a weakness. It's not a sickness. It's a simple part of being human. So we are wired for connection. We live in a world that has scrambled the signals. Today, solitude can be good for reflection, even beautiful, but chronic loneliness, that's different. It's not danger like prehistoric times, so it's an alarm system, a bastard feeling, as one of my friend Alexia Burke will brilliantly put in her book. So that triggers your instinct to reach out. So here's the key: you have power over that feeling. Name it, understand it, don't be ashamed. And if you're not feeling lonely yourself, please don't judge those who are. They are not broken. They don't need your pity. Really, they don't. What they need is to feel useful, to belong, not to be rescued, but to be included. Because belonging isn't about being surrounded. It's about feeling in sync in your home, your workplace, your city, your world. This is why Loneliness Global Action exists, and not to tell people what's wrong with them, but to show what's possible when we reconnect as a human. Okay, so if there is one message to leave you with, I can say you're not alone, and you don't have to wait for anyone to fix this for you. You have a choice and also a voice. You can make a connection and you can start something. And if you want to go deeper with data, research tips, or even to contribute, follow me. Reach out. I share what I learn. I listen. We can talk. And because this is not just my mission, it's ours, and together.
Yeah, very nice. So is there anything else you'd like to share about your journey, your mission, or what gives you hope?
Last one. Okay, I think we have said a lot already, but maybe just one personal note. Start with yourself, work on your self-alignment, and you cannot truly belong with others if you don't first feel at home with who you are. So you will need to be your own best friend, I can say. And that's actually the topic of the book that I'm currently writing. It all begins there.
Okay, something to look forward to. Nadia, Yeah. Thank you for sharing your story, your clarity, and your boldness. It's big mission. Where can people follow your work, learn more about LGA, or join the mission?
So to get involved, you can find us on LinkedIn and also Instagram under Loneliness Global Action. So read the executive summary, sign up to join the movement. I imagine Yohay will share the link in the comment. So also we are launching an influencer first strategy to make connection go viral, and for you to increase your followers interaction. I assure you the metric were incredible for Noah. So yeah, bye everyone and have a great life and maybe see you in action with us soon.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you very much, Nadia, and thanks to everybody listening. If you have ever felt disconnected, know that you're not alone. Reach out, take a step. Remember, together drives the mission. And yeah, you can download TouchBase and check out also social media and all that. Thank you for listening and see you next time at TouchBase. Reach out. Thank you very much.
Bye.